For all you rookies who haven't had the opportunity to meet everybody yet, my name is Craig Callan. I'm the managing director of Dodgertown. I've assumed that responsibility just this year. Been here for 10 years. Most of the veterans know me. I was the general manager of the Sports and Conference Center. So I'm real happy on behalf of the Los Angeles Dodgers to welcome you and all the veterans to our 4th annual Ultimate Adult Baseball Camp. This is our 10th camp in Vero Beach. We started in 1983 with our Los Angeles Dodger Adult Baseball Camps. The only difference between the November Los Angeles Dodger adult camps and the Ultimate Camp is the fact that all the instructors here are all Hall of Famers. As we told, and I guess the veterans just have to bear with us because we have quite a few repeaters multiple times. As we've told all the veterans in the past, we want you during this camp to experience the same training, the same atmosphere as the Los Angeles Dodgers and all of our minor league teams in the Dodger organization do. The camp is designed to give you that experience. As a matter of fact, you'll see people working out on the fence now getting ready for spring training. When you depart on the 16th, our spring training starts here for the 41st year in Vero Beach. To give you that authentic experience, besides inviting all these great Hall of Famers that we have, Guy will be introducing everyone in just a moment, but we also bring in our major league trainers from the Dodger organization. We also have our minor league managers and coaches and minor league instructors here too that will also be on the teams with the Hall of Fames. We feel that every year, and I think the veterans will attest to this, that the camp has improved year by year. We feel the reason for that is because Guy, myself, and all the staff, including the instructors, listen constructively to all the input that you have. We continue to do that, and hopefully every year we just continue to get better. So if you have any input, just please feel free to contact Guy, myself, or any of the staff members, and we'll be glad to put it into our evaluations and see what we can do to improve it in future years. A couple of small rules I just want to stress to you today. We ask that no outside visitors, family, relatives, etc., be asked into any of the inside areas of Dodgertown. The reason for that is that this camp was designed for your privacy, for your personal experience, and we've got to control it. And the only way to do it is if we don't recognize you, other people will get into the locker rooms, into the dining room, etc. So that we don't have to embarrass your friends, your relatives, or acquaintances or whatever. Just ask them to participate in the camp by watching you out on the field during the day. You'll have plenty of time later on afterwards to get with them during the games, during the practices and workouts, etc. As far as the finale game, there will be a pass list in the locker room at the end of the week where you can invite as many friends and relatives as you'd like to watch you in that finale game. Before Guy comes over and introduces all of the instructors to you, I'd like to introduce a few people that you're going to be seeing around camp this week. Very key individuals. They're the ones that behind the scenes make the camp go. Number one, we have Jack Duckworth, the gentleman with his hand up over there. Jack and his assistant, John Marcinski. I think I said that right. You'll see them taking a lot of pictures. They'll be responsible for taking our team pictures. That is part of the camp. Also your baseball card picture. And during the week, they'll also be taking a lot of action shots on the field and off the field at the different functions that we have here that you can purchase from them. So if there's any particular shots you want, just get with Jack and his assistant, and they'll be glad to take the shots and process them for you. We have a video that you get, a 2-hour video that a lot of the veterans have seen that takes about a month or two to get finalized because we edit it and do voiceovers, etc. But Dan and his daughter, Claudia Giller, Claudia is right over in the uniform there, and where is Dan? Dan's right there in the red hat. They'll be filming all the activities throughout the week. How about a hand for Dan and Claudia? Dan, Claudia might be a little preoccupied this week. I understand she's getting married. Herbie Scharfman, where's Herbie? Herbie's been here every year since we've been here in Vero Beach. He's been the Dodger photographer for 41 years. Herb does all of the black and whites during spring training for the Dodgers, and we asked him to come down and do all of that. So when you have pictures for your newspapers, press releases, etc., that's the person that you'll see around doing that. I don't know if Ron Cummins is here. That might be Ron right out there, but he is the baseball grounds supervisor. You'll see him around a lot this week. Done an excellent job, he and his staff. Carol Thomas, who is his immediate supervisor in charge of all the grounds, along with Steve Carlswood, have made the fields, we feel, probably in the best condition it's been in quite a few years. So how about a hand for the grounds crew here? All right. Is Mike Visbury here? Okay, there'll be a gentleman that's around with Herbie a lot, Mike Visbury. He's a tall guy, looks like the big gentle bear. He's our publicist for the camp. He works for the Los Angeles Dodgers during the season, and he's down here. So if you see someone really big with dark hair, that's Mike Visbury. And the only other person I want to introduce now, and I don't think he's here either, is Jack Snow, who's our equipment manager. He's sitting in the golf cart over there. And the person that assists me on the day-to-day responsibilities of Dodger Town, Lynn Getzman, is sitting up in the press box, and you'll see her coordinating a lot of activities. Okay. As I mentioned, Guy and I and all the staff will be around, so just make sure that any comments you have, just let us know. We really want it to be a great week for you. I want to go ahead and turn the microphone over to Guy Wellman now. He gets closer and closer to me, which means he wants me to hurry up. Guy's been a scout for the Dodgers for many years. A lot of responsibility Guy has. He's responsible for taking care of me in Rome. Just got back from a trip. He schedules all the field activities during spring training for the Dodgers. So when you have, was it about 200 plus players, he's the one responsible for moving them around. So feel comfortable that he'll be able to get the 80 such people moving with the bullhorn. He also coordinates the Arizona Instructional League for the Dodgers, where we have 2 of our teams playing there with our managers. And year-round, he is the field supervisor of the Dodgers minor league system. At this time, I just want to introduce a good friend of mine, Guy Wellman.
Thank you. You know, the thing that scares me a little bit, Craig, you said this is 41 years coming down here. And Herbie's been here 41 years. I've been here 41 years, Herbie, and I can't look that old. You have really aged. Well, here we are again, and as Craig stated, this is our 10th ultimate camp, and we're still trying to learn how to run these things, and as he said, we will take any of your input and go over it, chew it, spit it out, and throw it in, and some of it we throw away, but we will take it and we'll think about it, and this is what makes these camps go. Now, my job is to arrange a schedule for you so that you are going to go through baseball training and learn as much baseball as you possibly can in a short period of time. You've got in front of you here, and I'm going to introduce them in a minute, a bunch of Hall of Famers. Now, Hall of Famers, they're the very tops in their profession. The very, very tops in their profession. So when you leave this camp, don't go away with any questions unanswered. If you have any question about baseball at all, ask these guys, and I'm sure they'll be very, very glad to explain it to you. Now, when I look up in a group, and I do this every time, I see some doubt in some eyes up there. I see a little fear in some eyes of the new guys. As Ernie's song says, don't worry, be happy. Make this week a great week for yourself. You're not going to be embarrassed. We're all almost on the same level. The campers that have been here before, they won't be any better than you guys. So just go out there and do your job, play as hard as you can, just have a lot of fun. That's the main thing, to have a lot of fun. We're going to have entertainment for you every night, and we'll make it a ball for you. Now, I'm going to take a little time here to introduce these guys, and I asked you last night to take that bio and go through it that's in your room, because I'm not going to read the whole thing. Hey, welcome, Spahny, the winningest great left-hander in the National League in Baseball, Warren Spahn. Hey, just the way we planned it, Warren. There's some questions there. They said, where's he been all morning? He's been going over his lineup.
I got a call for Berkshire.
Oh.
He wants to pitch for me, but I didn't want him.
Okay. As I said, read this bio, Ben, and get all the stats on these guys, because I'm just going to introduce them with a line or two. First one, Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. Don, Roy must have had a flat tire again. He was in the clubhouse, but he hasn't made it over here. You'll see him around in the wheelchair, one of the greatest catchers of all time, and as sharp as ever, Roy Campanella. The big D of the Los Angeles Dodgers and still working with the Dodgers in the radio and TV booth, Don Drysdale. The man with the blazing fastball, Bob Feller. Guy that pitched for the Kansas City, A's, Oakland, and the New York Yankees and never pitched in the minor leagues, the great catfish hunter. 573 career home runs, Harmon Killebrew. They always say this, the pride of the Dominican Republic and the Giants, but he also is the pride of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Juan Marichal. Ace of the Phillies pitching staff and the only guy to hit a long home run off of Johnny Orr, Robin Roberts. Just one term, the Duke Snyder. The newest member of the Hall of Fame, Willie Stargell, the great hitter with the Pittsburgh Pirates. The master of the knuckleball, Hoyt Wilhelm. Probably one of the greatest and sweetest left-handed hitters in baseball, Billy Williams. Now I'd like to introduce these guys. These are the guys that work for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and they do an outstanding job for us. Our infield instructor of all the minor leagues, Chico Fernandez. We had a lot of promotions this year. We had an outstanding year in the minor leagues this year. Won more games than anybody in baseball this year in the minor leagues. New manager of Bakersfield, Tim Johnson. Next man was promoted from our AA club to Albuquerque, Kevin Kennedy. Pitching coach, former big league pitcher, Dennis Llewellyn. Our hitting coach, the guy we locked up in the cages over there, Leo Posada. The new manager in our AA club from Vero Beach, John Shoemaker. And the head of all of our minor league pitching, Dave Wallace. The trainers, and we went at no expense. We went clear up to Orlando to get this guy. Used to be with the Dodgers. He's now the trainer for the Orlando Magic, Lenny Courier. Charlie Strasser, who's just out here on a wing and a prayer today. And the head trainer of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Bill Bueller. Now let's go over some of these rules very quickly. First of all, I want to say that we are a safety-oriented group, camp. We don't want to have anybody hurt here. So whenever you are in the cages, whenever you're on the bases, whenever you're at bat, wear a helmet. That's a must. Whenever you catchers warm up a pitcher, wear a mask. Even if just a few tosses, wear a mask. That ball hit that home plate area and come up and knock some teeth out. We don't want that to happen. Be alert in batting practice. Whether you're out in the field taking ground balls, watch that hitter. Be alert with that hitter. Don't lean against the batting cages, because if you do, a foul ball can come up and hit you in the mouth or hit your fingers, break a finger. Stay away from that. The most dangerous spot in the whole camp is in the batting cages, and I tried to tell you some about that yesterday, and I know Leo will warn you. When you go into the batting cages, always wear a helmet, first of all. Second, make sure you're the only one in that cage. Third, get in there, step back, and let the machine throw a couple pitches so you know where that pitch is going before you step in and take your swings. If you take your time, be careful over there, you're not going to get hurt. Don't leave baseballs in the glove. If you put a baseball in the glove and somebody runs and steps on that glove, not realizing there's a ball in there, you could turn your ankle, sprain it very badly, or break it. Now today, in a little bit after your stretching, I'm going to put you in 4 groups, and we're going to go by alphabet. 4 groups. Those 4 groups this morning are going to go through 4 stations. Station 1 will be the batting cages, where you'll hit in the batting cages. Station 2 will be the defensive area that most of you went through yesterday. Station 3 will be over on the strings, the pitching mounds. I want everybody in here to throw some off the mound. We are always looking for pitchers to throw in these games. We've got to have pitchers or you can't play the games. So you go through a tryout camp on the mounds over there. And the 4th station will be live hitting where we did it yesterday. Now while you're doing this, the Hall of Famers are going to have their clipboards. They're going to go around and rate you and grade you at these stations. At noontime, after the last group has gone through their station, they are going to go over to the Campanella room, and we are going to have a draft to place you on 6 teams. Some of the veteran ball players have already been placed on teams. We're going to give you fellas a chance to grade these guys. You can help your manager by suggesting some names before they go over to the draft. At that time, when the draft is over, we'll come over to the clubhouse while you're eating lunch. We'll post the names of all the teams and the players up on a bulletin board. Check the schedule to see where your team plays. We'll have 3 games this afternoon. 1 here in Harmon Stadium, 1 over on Field 1, and 1 on Field 2. Always on the schedule that you read at night or in the day, the team that is listed last and has the name underlined is the home team. They will wear the white uniform. The visiting team will wear the gray uniform. So that's the way you can tell whether you're supposed to be in white or gray for the day. Now, the game rules. We play the game almost the same as you would play it in a regular baseball game. We're using the same rules, but we do have a few changes. First of all, there is no base stealing. The pitcher can pitch either from a stretch or a wind-up at all times, whatever is more comfortable for him to throw strikes. There is no base stealing at all. if you try to take advantage of that and take a long lead off, or the coach tries to put a hit and run on, and you go way down the line trying to take advantage of that rule, all the catcher has to do is catch the ball, throw it to the first baseman, and he steps on first before that runner gets back, he's out. So that's going to keep you from cheating on that rule. Now you see up here, we have a big circle all the way around each of the baselines. Anytime the ball gets beyond that circle, it's an automatic pass ball and the runner can advance. That's going to save us a lot of time. The catcher's running back to the screen all the time. So anytime the ball goes beyond that white line, the umpires know the rules. They just say, okay, that's a pass ball. The runner advances wherever base. Now, if he's on third base, you got to make it. You got to make it if he's on third base. Now, the only other rule we have in there, and I didn't explain this to the managers last night, we say there's no base running, but if a catcher catches the ball and drops it, or the ball goes into the dirt at all and stays within that circle, the guy can try to advance. Now, that's not very difficult. The ball goes into the dirt at all, bounces out of the catcher's glove. The guy wants to try to steal, then he can go ahead. That's the only time he can advance. Now, we use substitute runners, and you guys will see why later on when you get a little sore muscle or something. We have set up over on the other side, on the first base side, a white line drawn. The runner, the substitute runner, and it's always the last man who made the last out is the substitute runner. The man who made the last out is the substitute runner, and you'll see why I emphasize that, because there's a lot of cheating that tries to go out. The last out is a substitute runner. He gets over there and he faces away from the hitter. His head is towards the hitter, and we're going to have a screen in there. We want you to be behind the screen because I don't want anybody to get a foul ball off the back of their head. And as soon as contact is made, you can take off and run to first base. You cannot leave. The umpires will call you out if you leave too quick. So you wait till contact is made, and then you take off. And this is another thing. If a runner runs to first base or to second base, we are not going to expect to put a substitute runner in. If you can run that far, we're not going to put a substitute runner in for you, unless you've just fallen down and broken your leg or something. Yes. Does everybody understand that part of it? Now, this is how we make the lineup. We want everybody to get the same number of times at bat as everyone else in the camp. So today, the managers are going to you will probably have 14 players on your team. He's going to list all 14 players in the lineup. Everybody hits during the game, that lineup, right on down the lineup. The last out is made the next day. The next day's game will start with that hitter that was due to bat. He will be the hitter the next day. Now, we want everyone, unless there's something wrong with you, unless you tell your manager, we want everybody to play at least 4 innings on defense. We want everybody to get out there and play some defense. If we don't do that, some of these guys will just run their good guys out there to play all the time. So everybody, unless there's something wrong with you and you tell your manager, we want you to get out there and play on defense. The next thing that we ask you to do, and that's why we're sending you through these stations this morning, is we want you to be able to change positions. Be able to learn how to play other positions. Learn how to pitch. And the trouble with pitching in this camp, and I've watched it, this pitching is what hurts the camp and hurts the games, makes the games real long, is that guys get a little too fancy out on the mound, try to throw too many breaking balls and try to do too many trick pitches, and then they don't get the ball over the plate. Just throw strikes. If you just get the ball over the plate to throw strikes, that's all you need to do. You'll see that. But if you try to be too tricky, then the balls are going to go back to the screen and the games are going to be 23-2 and 23-20, scores like that, and the games aren't any good. Today only, because you guys are going through tryouts, the coaches are going to pitch today, and you're going to see how fast that game goes. They're not going to, coaches will pitch against their own team. They pitch against their own team. They don't pitch for their own team. They pitch against their own team. And they're going to just throw the ball in there and throw strikes and get you guys accustomed to that type of pitching down here. Then from then on, it's you guys pitching. You guys will do the pitching from then on. This will be the only game that you can expect those coaches to pitch. Now we're going to send you through some drills every day. Every team here, all 6 teams, will have one morning game. We'll play one morning game, and then in the afternoon, we'll have a workout scheduled for you, the same workout that the other guys went through in the morning. The other 4 teams will play afternoon games, 2 afternoon games. I've scheduled it as equally as I can, the number of clubs playing here in Holman Stadium. I've scheduled it as equally as I can, the number of teams being the home team and the visiting team, so you're in your grays and your whites. I've scheduled it as close as I can to the, what else, shoot? Well, whatever. Whatever that was, I forgot it. But anyway, it's tough to make the schedule as close as I can to get you guys into the same pattern. With 5 games, see, there's going to be somebody that's going to have 3 home games and 2 visiting games. There's going to be some club that's going to be over here 3 times and 2 times over in the other field. So it isn't going to be equal, but it's as close as I can to making it that way. Any questions on any of those rules? Yes, Junior.
Last year, at the end of camp, we had our instructors throw with our team, like Luke Rock kicked for our club and their instructor, and they threw strikes, and we had a hell of a lot of fun having our own instructor play with us. You know, some games where the instructors beat their own balls club in some of their games.
That's what we're going to do today.
Can we have our instructor throw with our club if the guys want to do it? Let's have it all a team together.
No, I'll tell you why we don't want to do that, Junior. A lot of guys came down here and paid good money to pitch, and they're going to pitch.
Well, I mean, in today's game, can't Kevin pitch for us?
No. I'll tell you why. Junior. We had a guy here, Dennis Llewellyn. It's the old Dennis Llewellyn rule. Dennis Llewellyn, who was never known for excessive fastball, but it was pretty excessive for you guys. And Peronowski, who will cheat on any opportunity he can as a manager, anytime he'd get the bases loaded, he'd bring in Llewellyn. And he'd strike out 3 guys in a row, throwing as hard as he can. When they pitch for the other team, and you'll have just as much fun, they pitch for the other team, they won't do that. But if they pitch for your own team, they're going to be striking people out, and they're going to try to get you out too much. Let's go our way for a little bit, Junior. Anybody else have any? Sure, did I forget anything on the rules? All right. Now, the only other thing there are going to be times, and we'll talk about the final game, the big game at the end. We'll talk about the rules later on. I don't want to get you those. We're a little bit behind. The one thing I want to tell you, you move on stations by a bullhorn. I will blow a bullhorn and foghorn, and you guys move from one station. I would appreciate it if you would move as fast as you can from one station to another. We have a limited amount of time, and we want you guys to get as much in as possible, so you're going to have to move along. The other thing, today you're all going out there and do stretching. I've noticed as the camp goes on, there are fewer, more guys start to drop out of stretching. They say, oh, I'm a little stiff and sore, so they stop out of stretching, and at the end of the camp, there may be just Bill Bueller and about 15 guys out there. Don't do that, because you're hurting yourself. This stretching is good for you. I had a lot of guys say yesterday how great they felt after they stretched. You're going to be a little stiff and sore from it, but it's going to help you. It's going to prevent any injuries. And stick with Bill on this. Yes? It's great. Our managers, our young coaches will help stretch you. Whenever you want stretching, they'll be glad to do it. I would like to see you stretch after you eat lunch, to go out and just stretch out a little bit before you start playing the games. Any stretching you can get is going to help you. The other thing is put sunscreen on. You may not think this sun's going to get to you, but it will. If you have injuries, arrange to come in early in the morning to get treatment from these guys. They're over there very early in the morning, so arrange to get your treatment. Get the ice on. If you have a problem, I'll get you in right away in a golf cart, and we'll get you over there for treatment as quickly as we possibly can. Anybody have any questions? Yes, Warren.
You mentioned anything about strikeouts and base on balls in the game?
It's the same as ever. Yeah, I mean, we just have the same rules on strikeouts and base on balls. You've got to take a base on ball. You don't stand up at the plate. Now, let me tell you this. These umpires are local guys, and they do an excellent job. They've been doing this for years, and I know you're going to get mad at them and everything. They do an excellent job. Believe me, they have to have a little bigger strike zone than you would expect. Because if we didn't have a bigger strike zone, the games would go on till it would be dark. So they will have a little bigger strike zone. You guys adjust to it and take your swings. It's much more fun to hit than it is to walk. Yeah. No intentional walks. No intentional walks, and I'll quickly tell you why. Peronoski again in the Dodger camp walked two guys in a row at the last half of the ninth inning with a tying run on third base to get to a 70-year-old hitter, and that put that rule in. So every rule that is made, every rule we have is because of some way the instructors have tried to take advantage of us. Wooden bats only. Wooden bats only here in the games. Over in the cages, use your metal bats, but only use the wooden bats here. Thank you, Neil. Okay, that's it. Let's get out in this area. Mr. Bueller.
Guy. Pinch runner. Guy swings and strikes out, and catcher misses the ball. The ball rolls past the white line. Pinch runner has to go full board at first base.
Yeah. 20% of your strength out of your swing. You take 20%, even 25% of your strength, and you swing, you're not going to miss the ball. You let the pitcher speed furnish you the power you're taking away from the swing, so you make sure you hit the ball. If you swing the bat 100% of your strength, chances are you're going to miss the ball a lot. Back off of the strength, make sure you hit the ball, you snap. And now no back speed. You want to create more relaxing approach in the whole approach to hit. Then you get the bat in the fingers, soft, and as you go to contact the ball, then you firm the grip. You want to end up using all your articulation soft, relax, and you end up doing something like this. Get more back speed, and then you really spin. You really snap the bat at contact ball. You want to be relaxed, soft grip, smooth, and if I get there, boom, I'm going to just firm it. I'm not going to over grip it in. I'm just going to firm it. Then I do create a back speed and snap. Don't be too aggressive with the body. Let the wrist be the aggressive, not the body.
Hello there.
Hey,
How are you?
There's no pressure on the wrist at all.
And you just come down naturally. Boom. See how I'm stepping and swing? I'm going back, I'm stepping and swing. I'm going back, stepping and swing. That's all I'm doing. Step, swing. I'm getting my little push, throwing the head of the back. See?
stiffness, you just keep it up like this, so it's comfortable straight
Yeah,
up.
not too close. Not too close. Yeah. Back. There you go. That's it. Do it again.
Oh, man.
I'll edit that.
There you go. Good. Now spin it. On the toe. Yeah, see, this is how you want to wind up right here. You don't want to wind up straight like this. Push all your weight forward. That's it. Go.
I'm just trying to hit him up the middle. Not successfully.
I'm sorry, I could help you. That's a good idea. Always come up our way. He hasn't played before.
Hit off that thing?
No, well, I don't know what else to say.
Very well. His bat before, I think he opened the heart surgery on
Now, all I'm going to do is
What's the difference between
throw what I call it.
roll your shoulder towards that ball.
I'm going to do the same thing.
Hold it out. What that does is it forces your swing up.
Now, get your bottom hand.
Ride that shoulder
I'm going to use my little
and have all
finger.
your energy towards that ball. Okay?
I'm over 50 meters. For why, when I'm going to pick up the fan, I'm picking it up this way. With a right angle to control it. Why, when I'm going to put my top hand, I'm going to put it like this. Now they look like they're 5 inches off. Now, before that, why should I put one hand in there?
Once you see the ball, get on top of the shoulder there.
How you feel?
Well,
Then you have to feel like when you go through.
line drive.
Tell me when I say something wrong or true.
Go.
You know how
Straight
you go through there?
And I got this big blister right here. So telling you could barely put it on. But I was trying to make it open. So one day I was just fooling around. And I said, swing, but I can't tell him I can't swing. So what I did, I just went like this. I put that finger over the mouth. And it took the pressure off. I said, oh, now that feels better. You know what? The rest of my career.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen you do that on television.
Isn't that something? But you know, when you think about it, now watch this. If I'm getting an extension on the back here, with the regular, there it is when you're making an extension. Now, and then psychologically, you know, like anytime you think something's working, you stay working. So that's why I stay with it. Boy, I can wait a little longer and get out there a little quicker. So that's where I wound up finding. So if you want to take that pressure off, that's what do you think? How's that feel? I mean, as far as that.
If it's resting on here, it feels better. If I try to put it underneath, it doesn't work. But if I rest it on there, it feels pretty good.
The main thing is just taking pressure off.
It moves it off that spot.
Yeah.
Just pull your front foot back a little bit and go straight at the rail right there. Pull it back a little bit more. Yeah, go straight at it now. Don't come back. Straight at the pitcher.
Continue.
Pretend you're not dropping the hand, though. You still don't want to.
Yeah.
How you swinging? Pretty good? No? Not bad.
You gotta look real serious.
Huh?
You gotta look real serious.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at my,
Like you're really taking this seriously.
Yes. Very seriously. Hi.
Hi, Claudia. How are you?
Great. How you doing?
I'm doing just great.
What are you doing out here? I'm looking for some hitters, man. Defense and pitching is good, but you got to drive in some, you got to get some runs.
That's way outside.
on this thing, you play with the round ball, round bat.
Hit it square.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah. A lot of sense except when you try and do it.
Swing's a bad, pretty good left hand. He really screwed me up. I hope we get him.
You do? Where you feel, just like you're on a dance floor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not your woman, but there's one right back there.
Okay, here,
I'll
hold on.
Matter of fact, you said, where's the woman? I look around, there's another one right over here. Just relax, don't hold it grip tight.
All right.
Okay. I don't want you to come and then swing. I want you to stay there and stay there. That's it. That's
But it wasn't even that, right? We were pushing them so hard to win because we had the parents on us all the time to win. Whoever kicked, you ever remember the score when you played ball? This guy was
Oh, well, let's see. Let me see if I get your drift.
What part of no do you not understand? Here's another thing you can do too. You got your head like this, put your head straight, you see the ball. You see the ball sideways like this. Put your head straight up and go right at the ball. Like that. Do that. Yeah. There you go. Like stand mute. There you go. See, you're taking your hand back. You're taking your hand back. You're making a step forward. You're throwing the head of the ball. Right here, because you want to start the head of the bat back here. So if you bring it too far out here, the ball will be by you. Okay. Your hand right here. Yeah. And get your hand.
All working out rhythm. So good. Getting excited.
Confidence is building.
You living down here?
I live in Culver, California.
You got a restaurant opening up here, right?
19. Opening where, dude? Down at the Days Inn on the beach. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Tommy?
No, Tommy's place got closed last winter.
That's right.
They're dropping that pasta on the floor and picking it up and throwing it in those pots, I guess.
Gives it a special flavor.
Steakhouse?
Yeah.
Your steakhouse? What kind of restaurant?
Seafood.
Seafood.
Seafood, steak.
Is this the first one for you?
Well, how you doing?
Doing well, doing well.
Is that what it is? I tell you, it sure should have come out. All right. Where'd you guys come from?
Take off our glasses. Why don't you see our beautiful eyes?
Yeah, let me get one too. Let me get one. I'll take my glass.
Oh no.
Well, it looked like the Lone Ranger.
Yeah. Thanks.
Looking good.
How you feel?
And here's a guy with tremendous talent.
Well, his arm was bad on him.
Who's that? Holy God, man. That's what I want to hear.
Killebrew? Yeah. Rod Cruz always say hello to you.
Did he?
Yes, I saw your picture up there on the wall. He asked for your greatest fan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Rod's all right.
Yeah, he is. Good guy. He's got that baseball school going full
Yeah,
bore.
I know he does.
That's it. A little harder. A little harder. A little harder. That's it. That's good. That's all right. Just move your head. That's all. I like the way you swung with balance. Step back over here. He's sitting in there. How do you feel? No anything easy, isn't it?
Wonderful.
Watch it, young man. Yeah. Is he gonna hit it? But now all you do now, we ain't think about the swing anymore. We think about just the ball. Just hit the ball. That's all. Just hit the ball. Come on, don't let that go. Let it go.
Jump Junior. I'm telling you. Tie shoelaces together. You know, find out what room he's in. Those drugs. Very good, very.
You know, a lot of times they lay in bed.
I saw one in the class.
Hey, last year I had a guy.
Sometimes they lay on
I had a
tables.
guy last year from Michigan State, right? He was all excited about getting. He was an executive from California, right? He came out all charged up and everything else the first day, and he was, you know, we had a good time. Second day I didn't see him. Third day I had a phone message. Call so and so. He went back to L.A. He got sick. Didn't tell anybody. Packed up and took off. Right? Just like that. Yeah. Maybe sure did the same thing.
Sure. Is that why you went over for 6 last year? Sure. Is that why you went over for 6 last year?
No, I had a horseshoe club last year. No, I did. I had no bike.
You had a lot of fun.
My draft was bad. No, I don't believe I had fun either. The only thing I got was the Ginsu knives. If I hadn't have gotten that prize from you, I'd have had a horseshit trip. You know what I mean? It's not on.
How long are you going to wear that hospital tag, by the way? Until somebody cuts it off.
Listen, you guys, and now listen to this. It says, all players throw baseballs in the same direction. Now, how in the hell can that? Who's going to catch it? No, seriously, who wrote that? We got to tell. How can you throw a ball in the same? You got to have somebody catch it. Well, we'll work on that. We'll work on that. After you loosen up, we go to the sliding pits, and we'll give you a holler. So
am I to give the demonstration?
On sliding?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So we'll slide into you.
Angle.
We'll slide into you.
Slide into him, right?
Hey, man. Swing. Al, isn't it? Where's Al? Slides good. This Al slides good. God, we got good sliders. We got examples.
Yes,
Timmy,
sir.
you don't have to show them nothing. All right, loosen up, boys. Where's the
I'm
ball?
so good, I don't have to slide at all.
They're all in the same direction.
We threw him that way. Coach.
The ball for you guys.
Oh. I thought you were throwing in jail. All right, everybody's jogging, boys. I'll turn back, and we'll get balls by the time you get back. If you go slow enough.
Just for guys over 62?
Stretch your leg, good.
We're doing the jogging and he forgot the balls?
See that?
I gotta stay here and watch out for
Yeah, first one you're going to do is throw my head.
No, it'll be in the dirt. Thanks. I gotta get you dirty early.
Hey, good catch.
You got Juan pitching?
Oh, we're all right. But
That natural curveball.
I ain't got it. I don't have enough padding in my glove for that.
I want to give Juan's arm a rest. Save him for the big game. Thought maybe I'd throw better with two fingers missing. But it hurts like hell.
Barry, nothing could hurt your pitching.
Yeah, huh?
There's nothing. It's impossible. It's as bad as it gets.
Come on, I got out of 2 innings last time.
I know it. They were all laughing.
Just remember, it doesn't matter how you get them out, as long as you get them out.
And it looks like it slips, right? And it comes down like this. And I stand there and I take it, and the umpire says, "Strike one." I said, "You gotta be shit." Strike. It came from up there. It was amazing how he could throw the ball in close, anyhow. And it was close. They gave it to him, you know. And we had Rip Sewell once told me, Eddie Miller. I played with Eddie Miller, who was a shortstop. And after he had done that to me, the next day I was sitting on the bench, and I said, "Eddie, how about it?" He said, "He threw it to me one day, and I caught it, and I knocked it right back at him." And Eddie was kind of a bullshitter, and I thought, "Yeah, he's kidding me, you know." So Rip Sewell lives in Tampa, where I do. So they had his 50th wedding anniversary. We all went there, and I had to ask him about this story. I said, "Rip, did anybody ever catch that?" He said, "That little fucking Eddie Miller." He said, "I threw it to him, and he caught it, and he pitched it up, and it lined right back at me." So a big umpire, I think it was Major Kurtz, was umpiring. So he called them together, and he says, "Come on. Come here, come here, come here." He said, "Now cut that shit out. No pitch." Hey, there's no such thing as no pitch. But I couldn't believe that little Miller caught that ball and did that. No pitch. We're going to sliding now. Timmy's in charge. We take our shoes off, Timmy, right? Well, Timmy's in charge. He'll tell you. Now go to the sliding pitch right here. Go over here.
Guys over 60.
Oh, you mean we're all doing this, not just one guy and the rest of us can watch and say, "Yeah, we know."
Steve Rice.
Chris, I don't think maybe you...
No. If I take the shoe off, I ain't getting it back on.
If you can't do it, just...
Can't help my knee.
But Timmy, I'll help you, Coach, because I understand that you're not 100% today.
I'm 100%. You guys... Son of a bitch.
This team is colorful.
That flu's going around.
That flu's going around, you know.
I think I caught a little bit of it last
Yeah,
night,
I
too.
think you guys gave it to me.
Really?
I think you guys gave me the flu.
I understand he sent over a little
Stay
note.
away from you guys, and now I know. I see you, I go out.
I've been Rochester.
You know, no, it's not true. I'll be right in there too.
I understand somebody sent you a little love note last night.
Yeah, but then I found out it was a guy. I said, shit.
You want to do that horseshoe or something like that? On the floor?
Good morning, Claudia.
Good morning.
Something wrong?
Yeah.
The guy knows how to slide. It doesn't hurt him to slide.
Just like you guys yesterday. You guys look like you know how to slide,
Yeah.
you know, and that's unusual.
Yeah, we got a few guys there.
Guys that know how
I tried to
slide.
stop them second and they kept on going. I had to tell them down.
Oh, I thought you said dig, dig.
Well, I was really sorry. He stopped me at third. I really wanted to go. I was huffing around those bases.
Yeah, I
He held
saw
me
you
up.
try, and I said,
I was so
oh,
upset when he held me up.
Hey, Tanner, show us how to do it first.
The umpire told me when I went by second base, he said, "Shit, I thought you were a flat tire."
Just come to the bag. All right.
Whoa.
We'll know in a minute. Get the big guys out the bottom and pick me up.
I'm assuming my natural.
I'm gonna stop you. Don't worry.
I'm assuming my natural position.
All right.
That's all right.
Robin, you're going to slide with the wind and against the wind, aren't you?
Screw you, guy. Hey, I cleaned my act up. Mary told me to clean my act. Screw you, guys.
Perfect. Good. Good.
That is good. Hey, I knew we had to slide it.
Now let's check Al out here.
Oh, that's good. Very good. The one mistake a lot of guys make is they do it too close to the bag. Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh, wait a minute. Time
You got to hit the bag. Oh, a little hooker.
A hooker. Yeah,
Hot
but he
dog.
hooked up
Yeah,
the
what are you
bag.
doing tonight?
Hey, Matty, that was nice. That is the way I slid. That's why I slid head first.
Herb, just come back and go right on your butt.
Too close, too close.
I think that'll take care of me.
Leg together.
Hey, no, one more. Hey, get back here now.
Bad one
Do it
and
farther
the
out
one-
here. You
other
hit the
one's
bag.
straight.
Jam you.
Real
Right,
good.
very good. Too fast down the line.
Real
Get a
good.
picture of that. We may put that on the brochure. That,
Dennis, Ron probably came too fast down the
very
line.
good.
right.
Don't you
He was
come
coming
up
real
there.
charging down. Couldn't slow down.
Oh, yeah.
5 on the Richter scale.
Who was the sliding instructor for the Dodgers last year? Pedro Guerrero?
Yeah. Oh, Al's all right.
Yeah, Al's a
You
slider.
guys can fly.
Yeah, but to slide, we have to get on base.
A little too hard.
Part one,
I still
part
say
two.
fixing the phone.
Oh, Data Head can do it any way you want. That's right. Very good. Guerrero. All right. Hey, one more. Get back there. Now, you dive too close to the bag. Get back.
Slow down. Ron, you're just coming down that line too fast. You gotta slow up a little bit on that.
I'll do this one in slow motion.
That's
Just
too
too far
fast.
enough. You don't have to get going full speed.
Okay, slow.
Now,
Slide. No.
almost.
Oh, yeah,
you
almost.
still like
right.
the lead.
Almost.
bag.
Try it about 2 more times.
It's going to be a walk.
We don't need to slide anymore. We can
Looks
tell,
like they're pretty good.
we
at
can
that.
tell stories. Yeah, these guys are all right. Do you want to slide anymore?
Well, will they give us these pants if we get on first base?
Yeah.
Put the pants
We don't
on?
want to ruin our real
Return
stuff,
the
folks.
pants. Return the pants, and then we'll talk about hitting. Put the pants back in the thing. One hit home runs. How many did you hit? One.
4.
Ooh, I hit 5.
remember everything. They sure answer quick, you know?
Hey, Feller hit 10. Hey, Spahn hit 33.
But I got a record.
Funny.
Yeah, Spahn batted 8th a couple times.
Oh, Spahn.
I hold a
They
record.
bat him in front of Logan.
What'd you do?
Between McCobb and I, we hit 45.
From Wilhelm, we have hit one his very first time at bat in the major leagues and never had another one in 21 years.
He told him they never asked him to do
I
it
didn't
again. he said if they'd ask him to do it again, he'd have done it again, but he showed him he knew how to do it. You believe he hit one his first time up.
It took Preacher about
You know,
10
it
years.
had to be polo ground shot.
Yeah.
Down the right field. It had, I know it was.
Right down the
Right,
right field.
What was that? What was it?
Wilhelm.
257, wasn't it?
Well, I hit one in pole ground, but I hit upper deck, 430 feet.
Oh. With the wind blowing in.
Oh, against the Mets? Against the Mets?
Against the Mets.
Yeah.
Pole ground.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. Tracy Stoller.
He was famous for another one.
Yeah, Maris.
That's right.
yeah.
He threw the 61st one.
Yeah.
God, I got all this information in my head.
How about Tom Tracy?
Spahn in Milwaukee. And beat him 1-0.
Let me tell you, when Sandy hit a home run, man, something wrong.
No, that guy's name was...
He was bad.
He was exactly. All right, see?
Yeah, you're right.
But I remember that it was in County State in the early 60s. Go back to Spahn.
We have a pitcher, Ron Herbal. I think he went all his career without a hit. One time he got a line drive, like didn't happen yesterday over here. Line drive to right field. The right field picked up the ball and threw the first. That was the closest that he got to. He got a base hit in the major league.
Listen, now we learned to slide, correct? In case Guy asks you, say, hey, they showed us how to slide.
Do you want me to show you any more fundamentals of sliding?
Not yet. Don't call us, we'll call you. Now at 10:20, which isn't quite yet, we have live hitting. No, we had batting cages and tees. Hitting. Hey, you know, seriously. One of the mistakes they make in baseball is they should make pitchers hitting instructors. Because when you think, we pitched to all those guys for all those years, and we know what the hell they do. You know, really. When you see it from the mound, you know what a good hitter does. And they all say the same things. Those bastards all keep their head on the ball. Now, when they do this, they can't hit them. But they do that, and they keep their shoulders right there. And I coached college ball and played forever. And the thing I found out that really helps is if my right-handed hitters will pretend like the foul line is the shortstop. Okay? That means you don't try to hit it out here. Because whenever you're hitting it out there, you're not going to be able to reach the one that's tough on the outside. You know, you really aren't. If we had a guy that Jones that played for us. He hit 88 home runs foul. You know, and they're worthless. You know what I mean? Wouldn't he'd hit them all foul.
Long
throw it long away from him. Ground ball is short double play. So if you think if I go up and I say the shortstop's a foul line, so then if they throw one in here, I can whack at it, but my shoulders stayed in here. Because I'm thinking, instead of thinking this much open. And they say, well, if you open up, you got to open up. What do they call it, Timmy? Turn on. Turn 22, 23, they'll be hitting the right center because they're not quite strong yet. Philly's got a kid named Ricky Jordan. He was in the minor leagues. He was a good hitter, but he hit right field, right center, left center, never pulled the ball. Now he's about 24. He had 15 home runs last year from July on in the big leagues because he's strong enough now. Until you're strong enough, you can't do those things. Richie Allen, you remember that name? Oh, yeah. When he was a kid, he hit everything right center hard. Oh, he hit 12 home runs one year in the minor leagues. Next year, he hit 35. Change of ballparks. I mean, his knees are ballpark, but then he comes to the Phillies, hit 29. Because he was strong enough. And the thing about turning on the ball is, if you're not strong enough, you can turn all you want. You're still not going to be a good. But when you start turning is when you wait and everything quickens, you know, and you get strong enough to wait, boom, and then do that. And it's something when you see a guy on your own team grow up like that, you know, he gets to be 23, 24, all of a sudden, boom. And it's not lifting weights, it's something else, isn't it, Timmy? It's just flat out growing up, you know? It's just maturing.
Get that head out.
The thing about it is the shoulder, all the good hitters, usual. You know, everybody, if you try to copy a hitting stance, if ever you see a young player in the big leagues and he comes up and he reminds you of somebody, he's fucked. You know, because the good ones don't remind you of anybody. They look like themselves, you know what I mean? If ever the guy says, hey, he reminds me of Juan Marichal. Do you ever see anybody remind you of Juan Marichal? No. And if you do, they're screwed, because there's only one guy that could do that, right? It was him. I saw a kid who looked just like him, threw like him. He was a Mexican kid. hell of a pitcher, wasn't he, Juan? Remember that kid? Yeah. Got killed in some plane accident, didn't he, in Mexico?
Chavez, yeah.
Chavez was his name. He tried to, and I don't think he would have ever been Juan, because Juan was a hell of a pitcher. This kid did look like Juan Marichal. He was the only other one.
His age.
Yeah, oh. Did you ever see a guy look like Spahn? No. Koufax. Real good. And whenever they say they remind me of somebody, put a stamp on their ass, because they ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna make it. They gotta be themselves. They gotta remind you of him, you know what I mean? He'll get you all the way. So if I'm left-handed, the foul line's second base. And all that does is keep you shoulders. You know what I mean? You can do it any way you want. But no matter whether you're throwing a baseball or hitting it, the big thing is here, right here. If you do this, you don't have your legs and arm together. But if you do this, you got it together, now you can just finish with it. Same thing with hitting. If you do this, you don't have it. If you do this. Yesterday, remember we had our little through the middle. Well, that's what I told him. I said, don't worry, he's quick, he can get out. He was an infielder, he can get out of the way of it.
Harvey Keene, when he was with Boston, and you know, you look at a pitcher and you see where his release point is, and you know, you key off where his release point is. I came back from the dugout now, it was one of his last years, and he's with Boston. I came back to Harvey, and I looked at Harvey, he says, just bend over and kiss your ass goodbye, he says, because Juan would come here, here, and here, and he still threw great. I said,
but you know what he
was on his way out.
I play the Phillies, they were playing the Giants, and they announced that Marichal's pitching the kid from the minors. So, one hit it. It was a shutout, wasn't it? 1-0, 2-0? 1-0. One hit shot.
2-0.
I said he'll never pitch with that motion. You know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
But he struck out 10, and we gave it one little hit. In the 8th inning, a kid dribbled on over his head. But the point about those kind of things is whenever you're talking the fundamentals of, incidentally almost, same thing with playing baseball. It's, you know, it's like you see a good infielder. He just stays down on the ball, and I don't know whether it comes from learning to do it right or just being able to do it right. I don't know yet. Generally, when you get to the big leagues, most young players, like Aaron when he came up, Drysdale, his strike zone was from here to cricket stuff. You know, if it's short hopped, he took a rip. And we all knew as soon as he got some organized strike zone, we were in real trouble. Well, it turns out we were right again, you know what I mean? But he had a style that was all his own.
Spotted foot from the ball. Man, when he got, like you say, he got organized with that strike zone. 366 in the
Best two-strike hitter I've ever seen.
Start crossing
Oh, you get
They
two
say
strikes.
he did, but I don't
Yeah,
think
he
he
chopped
took
up the
ball.
ball.
I
There's
think he
no
started
way
as
you
a
can
kid
get
in
one
that.
ball past
He
him
just-
after 2 strikes. He was better hitter after 2 strikes than before.
And we were in Toronto, and Rico was with us, and Nolan Ryan's pitching 1-0 against us, and we're in our stadium in Toronto. Big Rico comes in, the man comes up, and he's up there, and Nolan goes, fastball, strike 1. You know, Rico's probably one of the best fastball hitters I've ever seen.
Good hitter.
Anyway, 2 more strikes, and you know, he fouled him off and he struck him out. Now, the bottom of the 9th, here comes Big Rico up. And you know how Rico was. I got this all big. Nolan's on the mound and gave him one of these. I mean, the games you see are something else in the big leagues. These guys, they're so confident. And he gives it that. First pitch, boy, Rico went bam, center field, tied up. We ended up losing, of course.
Good hitter.
I have a rule that if ever a guy tilts the bat like this, you don't pick a fight with him. Because I guarantee you, he is strong. And that's Rico pointed like this. I said, well, you know, there was a big guy with Detroit named Gates Brown.
Oh, yeah.
I want to tell you, if we ever have a team fight, you stay on the edge, because I want your edge. I said, Gates, I'm only shit. I thought, God, I hope he knows I don't mean it.
In 1971, No, 1970. We went to Japan for spring training, and they had this guy, you know, and you can see him waiting there, you know, before he take a swing. One of our pitchers, Frank Rivers, he says, no way that guy can hit him like that. So, he's supposed to pitch the next day. Here's Cam Rivers, you know, first time at bat, right field bleacher. He came to the dugout, he said, man, that guy can really pull that ball. Now I gotta stay away from him. And next time, boom, left field bleacher. That guy can hit.
That's what Mel Ott used to do. I never knew how the hell he did it. Mel Ott would kick that foot way back here and then take that stride.
Yeah.
Boy,
there's somebody
what a hitter.
now in the big leagues that does that too, and I don't know who it is, a left-handed batter that lifts his leg when he hits. And I don't know, I don't think it's Joyner. By the way, somebody mentioned Joyner today at breakfast. I've never seen an easier swing with a bat than he's got. Is that unbelievable?
Yeah,
How
beautiful.
he can hit a golf ball? I mean, a baseball. He doesn't look like he swings.
That's natural.
Oh, God, that's so easy.
What about that guy, Clark, for the Giants? He got a beautiful swing.
Campy?
No, Josh Gibson.
Will
Josh
Clark?
Gibson.
Right, Campy. I'm old, but I'm not that old.
Beautiful hitter.
He hit more home runs in Griffith Stadium than the entire American League. Although he played in Negro National League, never taken a big cut.
I was playing in Evansville one night. I was playing in Evansville one night, and I had good stuff. It was a good game against the
You
Giants.
had good stuff all
And
the
I
time.
struck Campy out a couple of times, you know, and I was throwing good. So now we go to Cincinnati on Tuesday. That was on Saturday. And Tuesday we're playing the All-Star game. Campy's catching, and I'm the starting pitcher. So I warm up before the game. I'm having trouble cranking it because I'd pitched 9 innings Saturday, and this is Tuesday afternoon. And Campy, I warmed up a bit. Through the second, he came walking out. He says, "Hey, Meat, what's wrong? You didn't throw like this Saturday." I said, "That's why I can't throw now. I threw like that Saturday." And I said, "Sit down low, Campy." That's the only All-Star game I got him out, and I didn't have shit. But I threw everything knee-high, and they kept over-swinging and topping them and everything, so I got my 3 innings in all right. That was when Mantle was a rookie, and Cincinnati was just a pissy-ass ballpark, you know, and the wind's blowing out, and it's all these all-star hitters. So Mantle comes up, and I'm pitching to him, and I'm scared. This guy's strong. He punts. I once asked me the biggest thrill I ever had in the All-Star game was when Marichal punted. Because I dove on that ball and threw him out at first. I was the happiest guy in the ballpark. I knew Mickey wasn't very smart. He was gifted, but he wasn't. Let's go head off the tee.
Bergley couldn't touch us in there. Couldn't touch. And still, I don't why. I don't know. American League just can't beat the National League in All-Star game.
Yeah, they've been doing a little bit, but not there.
When
There
we got
for
in
10
the
years.
league,
They didn't.
they had won so many ball games, but
Little late.
And buddy,
Well, you and I had a lot to do with the kid.
look, that one day what you, Newcomb, and Blackwell pitched.
That was
3
in
innings
Detroit.
apiece.
That's right. No, that was in Chicago, Canada. That was Blackie. Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember
you,
when?
Newcomb, and Blackwell
Remember when?
pitched in what, in Detroit?
Kiner hit the home run, tied it up in the 9th inning, and then Shane Deese hit one down to him.
God, I'd hate to bat against Blackwell with those arms and legs going
We'd
on.
have benched you against
He,
him.
he didn't only have arms and legs.
Yeah.
Buddy, he could do something with that ball.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't throw nothing straight. His fastball would run in on you, and his curveball would run away. He didn't fool with the changeup. And he'd knock your ass down. And we didn't wear no helmets in them days.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'll get on with Juan.
You know, I come to think
The day that somebody's throwing at them.
Well,
They got helmets and ear laps. You get put out the game if you throw close to them.
Listen, guys, we'll go to the batting cages. You hit off the tee and you hit off the
Good job. I'm not trying to get
machines. It says here, guy says, now listen to this. Keep your eye on the ball. That ain't a bad idea.
That's another great quote.
Hey, Mooney, right here. First base. Go, Rousseau. Yeah, you got it? Yeah. And then I'll take off. Round ball. You got it. First base, go. Bring it in. You got it. All right. Double play. So what are we doing now?
Showtime.
Showtime.
Gotta go slide, man. Okay. We can get some more.
Yeah. How about taking the metal cleats off? We don't want nobody to get the cleats caught.
Don't get dirty or just...
No, put on these britches here. Yeah.
I'm nodding yes to everybody.
Take your shoes off.
Well, you know Richie Hudner, did?
Do I know him? Oh, my God.
He's a crazy
oh.
Tell you, he had you guys hanging out last week. I was at the Phillies.
Here we are at Pedro Guerrero School Slide.
I'm telling you, that guy is
Let me tell you, he is.
Well, you're an inspiration.
So crazy.
He started talking some of his great news.
Talk about putting batteries in some of those young ones.
Who's that?
Richie, okay, man. I'm working later. I'm trying to get these guys.
Okay.
We'll get you a little later on. Be happy to.
One thing you said was him and Ted Williams have something in common. They both hit home runs their last time at bat. Only Williams knew it was his last time at bat.
To report today. Anybody got any stiffness that's going to cause them to maybe hamstrings, a little tight back here? We want nobody to be no heroes now. We want you to be able to finish the rest of the camp and enjoy yourselves.
Mine are tied, Bill. Tied
You gonna demonstrate?
No. Is anybody that does not feel comfortable or have any knowledge of sliding?
I'd like to hear
Well, so you're gonna be in the slide? Slide. Okay. Just get on your cheeks and get your hands up. You don't want that hand behind you, because so many guys when they're sliding, they put that hand back there and they jam a wrist, an elbow or something, or get their fingers in the way and the infield can come down on your fingers. But when you're sliding in, get those hands up. And that helps you get on your buns.
No head first slide.
No head first slide.
So a guy down here slid head first in the knee at home plate. Broke his arm in 3 places 3 camps ago. Don't slide head first.
Never slide head first into the pitcher.
Shouldn't even challenge.
Captain, why today, like Willie, on the other bases, like second and third, you see more of the players going head first, and they think they get there faster? I know you have more injuries, but you see that with a lot of the base stealers today, going head first.
That all started because of a guy named Pete Rose. And that's Pete's way of sliding, and you can't ask Pete to change. And there are a lot of people who do slide head first, and they know the risk. But when you just want to start practicing, I think it's important that you practice the right way.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And then if you want to add or subtract something and get fancy, well, that's fine.
That guy on my softball team slid head first. The catcher caught him with his knee on the head.
Had
10
fresh,
days he didn't even know his name.
Yeah. Crushed lips too. Probably wore a cast on his lips.
Spent the night in the hospital.
Fractured lips.
10 days before he got his name.
Okay.
You'll find too also, a lot of guys when they slide, depending on whether you're right or left-handed, a lot of guys can only slide to the right side and a lot of guys can only slide to the left side. And that's, so just go to what your natural instinct is. Go to your, don't try and cross over. If you slide to the right side, on the right, just stay that way. Don't think you want to come in and all of a sudden go to the left side, because boy, I'll tell you, and I'll bet you there's 85 to 90% of the guys in the major leagues that'll happen to.
And don't know how to slide.
And if they have to go the other way, they do a little stutter step, they lose speed or everything because they decide they got to try and do this over there. So don't even worry about that. Just stay the way that you feel comfortable at and just do it.
And one other thing too we want to point out and really emphasize, in these games down here, if you're running from one base to the other, we don't want you to get caught in between whether to slide or not slide. If you make up your mind to slide, slide. If you're not going to slide, don't slide. I mean, it's what you tell yourself, your last thought. Don't be saying, well, I don't have to slide, and then all of a sudden you have to slide. So many injuries has come as a result of that. And that's one thing we want to avoid. Now, you men are intelligent to know, and we hope that you don't want to do nothing fancy at the last minute. So, Mr. Shoemaker is going to do some demonstration here on some of the techniques of sliding. Pop up. Notice what his hands are going to do. His hands are going to go up. He's going to get back on his back. Now, stay in that position a minute, Ron. Now, see what he's done there? He hasn't allowed himself to get hurt in any way. And he's not going to hurt the infielder that's coming in. So the infielder can actually jump up and out of the way. And he still has the ability, if he wanted to, kind of clip that infield, prevent that double play. That's a good thing to do, but the important thing is getting to the bag and everything and laying back. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of guys, if you're sliding in trying to steal a base, you want to hit the base with this foot, the one that's extended. If I slide past it, see, I've gone about an extra 3 feet before this one hits it. So the good base stealer wants to try to hit it with this part, and you don't want to try to jam your heel down. You got to make sure this is up and point it. All right. I'll show you one more. I'm sliding with this leg bent, but if you feel more comfortable with the other leg bent, then that's just fine.
What is that, Ray?
On the dirt, you'll go, farther than you will on this grass.
Sure, you're left-handed, right?
I'm right-handed.
You hit left-handed.
Hit left-handed, but I feel comfortable sliding with this bent.
Now you see how he slides on the left side. That's the way he feels comfortable.
Anybody want to take?
Can you do more, Dan, and we'll switch off?
So you got to know the guy you're playing with, and then you make it for yourself. I'm going out, you take the bag, okay? All right. Let's do it again.
First baseman taking the cutoff.
The guy is going here. The runner's going first.
He said he's going to score this
Okay, now you watch that runner.
Well, look at the leadoff.
And in a lot of cases, you got to stay home in case the ball's cut off to throw to first.
Hey.
By the same token, if it's a double, you trail that runner to second base. See, everybody's got a place to be. And in the case of those two guys, one guy's got to be the cutoff, the other guy's got to go to the bag.
I didn't mean it that way.
You got to make sure that runner touches the bag and be ready for a play at first base. Now, when the play is over here, it's reversed. They become the guys that protect the bases, and you're the cutoff now. And we'll do it in that. Come on, Ernie.
Ready?
Yeah, let's do it. You bet your ass you're supposed to be up in here. You're supposed to line them up, right?
Sounds fine, yes. Sounds fine.
Come on, let's do it. Center field.
Ready? Yeah, man on second. Here's right here. Yeah, he thinks he can score.
All right. Good.
Work it.
Now you become the cutoff man. And I want you here.
Hey, Ernie,
Yeah, question. For them whether let the ball go or cut it. And if you cut it, you're going to make a play the second.
Well, I like to cut the wheel.
Right.
Left, left, right, right. Come on, let's do it again. Who's out there? If that happens, who goes out? I scored.
Another ball, Ernie. Let's go. Come on. We're wasting time.
Left, left, left. That's it. That's it. Cut, pull.
Too late.
Nobody was coming.
All right. Then you got to cut it.
What's the first? Is it first basis with the other dudes? Yeah. That's what he's doing. That's Larry. Yeah. Second. I need it. That's it. That's it. Cut, hold, relay.
All run for it.
But I want you to interject too.
Oh yeah. Spahn, if we were working on this play in Japan, you said wasting time. They've been working on this play all day long until they get it right.
Yeah,
That's the difference in us and them. That's the difference in us and them. They take one thing and they work on it all day long. That's right. Well, what we do, we want to cover everything all at once. Shouldn't be in our relationships. Throw away. This doesn't work, let's get rid of it. They work with it all day long.
Benson, have you gone through this? Meineke, have you?
Nope. Ernie, no way. Be happy, man.
Joe, why don't you take third base?
Ready? Ready. That's it. Left, 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 left. That's it. Relay, relay, relay. Boom. Feet on the base. Hey! Right field, outfielder. We got 2 runners now. Okay? Here I am. 2 runners.
All right, you runners ready?
Ready.
Base hit the right field. Where's my cutoff man? Durzak. What? Get up in here. Who did? Ernie? I'm sorry.
No, let's start over. That start over. It sounds confusing. Depending upon his arm, he doesn't throw as strong. Yeah, depending upon how you
But
throw
look,
it.
in this situation, this ball is supposed to be like 1.5 possible double. The second baseman becomes relay man out there. You're up in here. You're the target. They throw the ball this high to you. So if he says cut, it's going to bounce it once to catch it. That's why you're here. All right.
You're going to direct me, right?
Let's do it.
Ready?
Now, Ernie, you always tell where to go.
Left. No, right. I got it this time. Relay.
Where's the play going?
You got to cut the ball and get that runner, because I hear him go from second to third, because I've already scored.
That's why you're playing third base. Let's do it. Go ahead, Ernie, same way.
What do we got, Ernie? One was the first and second. Got it? To the right.
You got it.
I still didn't hear cut or relay or what? No,
When you don't say anything, you're going to let it go.
Bring it through, right? No, you caught it though.
The only thing you're listening for is cut.
Yeah, but I didn't hear no.
And if he says relay, you're going to deliver it to him.
Okay.
If he says cut, you
I'm
check where
going
the
to a
other
base.
runner is.
Tell him to cut it.
Are you all right, Will?
I'm fine. It's all right.
You don't have to run hard.
No, it's all right.
I just want you there for situation. Let them determine what to do.
That's fine.
Ready? Yeah. You all right? Ready? Right in there. Come on. Oh, yeah.
Bring it over, right here.
Whoops. Let it go. Let it go. Start over. What is his name out there?
I don't know. Oh, Scott. Scott!
Yeah, Scott!
I'm calling him Vegas.
When you threw in here last time, you threw the ball to him. I want you to throw the ball through him. Got it? You're throwing to the plate, he's only going to cut it off, all right? All right. All right, we got it. But you don't cast it.
Go on. To the right. Cut. Relay 3. That's it.
Scott's a funny guy.
Good shot, Gerzak. I didn't want to yell time right now. I don't want to yell. That's why he's all right.
Thanks. Come on, Ernie. Center field. Center field. Central field.
Team Central.
Waterbury, Connecticut. Story around.
Who's getting it?
First and second.
Third baseman's going in there?
He's the cutoff man, yeah. Tags the bag and see what he does. You're responsible here.
Right.
You're out of the cutoff position.
I need somebody to cover third.
Shortstop's got to cover third.
The shortstop's going.
Second baseman's got to be the long.
Third base, pitcher.
I thought.
No. If he's involved in the play, we got to give up one of the bases covered. But your responsibility is here.
So you want me to take the cut from
I want you're always a cutoff man on this side of the diamond.
Fair enough. You still want me to?
Well, because of those arms.
Dave, let's
I want
try
you
this.
to go out there to get the relay.
He's got a
Now
pretty
that
decent
means-
arm, and I'll judge him. If there's anything that's hit by him, then yeah, run out.
You got the best arm. You the best. The pitcher's got to come. And you the best.
Okay.
Hey, first you got the pitcher going to third. That's what we're
trying
to figure out.
Here's what you do as a pitcher.
That play develops with a couple of runs. You get your ass between third and
Right.
home. Now you're in front of the play. You see it develop. Whether if it goes to home, you go there. If it goes to third, you get your in over there.
Okay.
That
So
frees up the
basically,
infield.
he's a backup, and you don't want him to really be on third to get her, just to watch him
Watch how the play develops.
Where are you?
As
You're
a pit-
first?
First base.
Jimmy, you hear that?
Get
As
out
a
of the
pitcher.
We're going to do the play.
As a pitcher?
Which means you'll go to third.
You're
No, I go out.
You're going to
That's
be the
right, you
relay
go
guy.
out. Right. Okay.
Normally it would be the second baseman, but your arm is stronger.
Okay.
Now what about your arm, Chuck?
My arm's dead, babe.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're the relay. Now, you're going out, the third baseman's coming in here, the pitcher's going over there. Now when the play develops, he's either going to back up home or third base.
So I'll gauge myself
Probably
between you
third base.
and the home
Let's
plate.
run through
He's
it.
got a
You're the
good
pitcher.
arm, so I.
Okay. First and second.
Hey!
Hey, pitcher. Left field or center?
He is, and I'm helping. I got you. I'll line you up. Hey, you let me
Ready?
know.
Ready? You ready? You ready? Let's do it.
Over to the right. Cut relay.
All right. There.
Don't wait till I ask your question. If I don't hear that, get me up. Which way?
Normally it's the second baseman. They say, we've decided it's you. Here,
Good
give me the
throw.
ball.
Good bounce
Here.
throw.
Okay.
You know, sign language. Let's do it that
So
way.
both of us have our hands up. Both me and the third baseman.
No, he's in here.
I'm behind you.
If
Dave.
that ball is out there far enough, the ball is going to be thrown to you. Now you throw the ball into home.
Okay.
So he can't make the throw from way back there. And if the ball is shallow enough, you're out of the play. You line up, but he throws it over your head.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
A little wager? How does he look? Let's go. Dead meat to you. Look like dead meat to you.
Right there.
All right.
Good throw.
Yeah, but look, I never want you to take a short hop. You got to come up here to get that ball.
You want me to come out and get it?
Or back up to get this ball. What good is that ball getting by you?
None at all.
All right. Do it to left field.
Same thing, first and second left field.
Want to run? Go ahead, run for it.
Now you're covering.
Run for it. First base. Left field.
since you're out of this play, why don't you be the base runner?
That's fine. Cut home.
I do not want fine. I want cut or nothing.
I was lining him up.
I know that. That's fine. Crowd noise and everything else is huge. Let's limit the word.
Right, left.
Cut, right, left, cut, relay. Period. You're fine. Again. All right. Ernie, do you know if we have a situation with cut off set? Run down.
I know a great good situation. Runs at first and third.
Well, I mean, I wonder if that's covered or if we can put it in here. I think we've done this enough.
Yeah, that's enough of this. Yeah.
Do you know if we cover rundowns or is that another session?
It's probably another session.
I'd like to do it right
Let's
now.
do it now.
I'd like to do it now.
Do the first and third one. That's probably where somebody's going to try to
and
pull
third,
it.
yeah.
Right.
That's a
You
good
know?
one, yeah.
Hey, outfielders, come in here a minute.
They can be the runners. We'll have the infielders
Right,
do the...
yeah, first and third.
Because hell, this situation might come up in the ballgame.
Yeah, how you feel?
Muscles are sore, but... That's why you're here, to get sore muscles.
Is that it?
Sure.
Well, it's working.
You outfielders have any question about what we were trying to accomplish?
Just want one
Getting my
comment.
money
It
for it.
seems easier if the cutoff man keeps his arms raised. It almost gives you a target to throw
That's
between.
what I told him. That's what I want. That's what I want. You're looking for that guy. Now, you're going to throw the ball through him.
Right. Looking for the field goal.
All right. But if your throw's good enough, we don't need him out there. Now the play is coming in here. But 2 short throws are better than 1 long one.
Right.
So if you can hit him, and he's got a pretty good arm, get the ball in here, and we can make somebody unhappy. You know. But I think you understand what we're trying to do, right?
Right.
All right. What we're going to do now, we're going to do rundown plays. And this is the one that's fucked up more than any other. And I think we're going to use runner on first and third, and I'd like the outfielders to be the runners. And then I want the infielders all to participate in this. And if you get a guy caught between the bases, those are safety zones, okay? Whenever a guy's on him, he's okay. But in between there is where all funny things happen. So that if we pick a man off, the guy with the ball has got to shorten the distance between he and that runner. And if you can run straight at him, and then the guy covering the bag, run him as hard as you can to him and then give that guy a ball and he can't turn around. But when the guy is jockeying back and forth and there's 3 or 4 throws, you either hit the guy or some fucking thing. And one of the secrets, if you're a base runner in that situation, and you're caught in a rundown, you kind of check to see who's closest to you. And you kind of gamble that when he throws the ball, run into him without the ball, and that's interference. So that's tricks they can play on you, so you want to avoid it. And the thing is that when you're the guy with the ball and you're harassing that runner to the other guy, get the ball out of your glove here. And you don't do this, but you just hold it there so that the guy on the other end can see it. And then when that runner gets near him, he says, now, give him the ball. That's what it is. Is that the way you do it?
I mean, what you want to try to do is both stay on the same side of the line.
Oh, good.
You know, because if you're on one side and he's on the other and the runner's in between, you got to throw the ball this way.
Here, good rule of thumb. If you're an infielder, it's either grass to grass or dirt to dirt.
Right.
And in other words, if I receive the ball and I'm the first baseman, and I'm on the inside, I'm going to throw the ball to the inside of the other guy. He knows it's going to be there. Never throw across to the outfield side, okay? So this is understood between us. If I get the ball here, it's going to be outside to outside. If I get it here, it's going to be inside to inside. You understand that? Okay. And I hope we get that situation. What I want to do is put a man on first and third, and I want to see if we can't get a double play. So it's good.
I'm going to have to run you a little ways, otherwise you might just throw it and come back and you sit. So I have to run you a little ways.
All right. Pick you off. Let me pick you off.
You going to go?
And on a pickoff, they only have to touch first.
No.
Pick him off. Inside, inside.
Run him back. Threw the ball too soon. I can see the ball. Now when you're ready to throw it. But this crap, you're faking him. And I want to see you short. You guys are throwing way out here. I want one of you guys to chase him to close that gap, all right? Hey, for the benefit of this, I want you to run his ass to second base, all right?
You're fine. Take more. Take more.
Run at him!
Inside.
Too soon!
Interfere. Oh, hit him.
He's going home! All right. Too many throws. Well, Gersak, you didn't close the gap enough. I want you, look, when the play starts, I'm going to outrun that guy to second base. Okay, now, if you close this gap, you make sure he doesn't get there, but you give him the ball.
Yeah.
Now there shouldn't be a throw this way.
Okay.
See, you start the play.
All right.
Let me see if I can direct you.
Shouldn't the play be the first baseman running into the shortstop covering second base who's there for the play? And that's it. So the second baseman who's halfway in between would just be circling around either to take first or to take second.
No, the second baseman's involved in the play because if he gets taken out of the play, shortstop's still at second to cover it. Otherwise,
he is the backup guy. He doesn't circle anywhere.
It just seems
the pitcher's over here.
Well, second baseman have to get on this side over here.
Yeah.
They were standing on that side.
Well, the second baseman has to get out of the play, in or out.
Well, I was in that.
You're never eliminated until the play's over.
I was in that.
You're the guy. He's going to be right here.
All right, let's do it.
I got it. Now.
All right, that's the way to do it.
Okay.
Because there was, hell, there were 5 yards between he and the runner. He can't tag him. So you got to chase him that way further.
Okay.
See, the object is you're running him hard enough where he can't turn and go the other way. Period.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm glad. Wow.
Well, that sucker took off way before he threw the ball.
Hey, do you realize how many times we worked on this?
I can imagine.
21 years in the big leagues, and I managed for 5 years, and you know what we used to do? We used to put runners on first, second, and third. Pick the guy off first base. Now get a triple play. You'd be surprised, you know, how things develop. And it's the instinct of the infielders that make the whole thing happen.
Yeah.
And if you're comfortable with it, oh shit.
Yeah.
You've got guys going all over the place.
We got some good work in here. We got some people working good.
Up later on in the game, it may not seem like it at the time. If it's 6-1, you say we're getting beat, and we give up 2 more runs. It's 8-1. You say, oh, big deal. But if you save those 2 runs and it's still 6-1, you come back. We get a 2-run homer at 6-3. All of a sudden, you come back. So each run does mean something. And the more runs you save, the less you have to score to win.
The bottom line, we're going to make them earn those runs at home plate. We're not going to give them any. And this is what I'm talking about, mental mistakes. Hey, physical ones you're going to make. But if you guys know where to go on these plays, we're not going to make those boneheaders. And we feel more confident doing it so that you guys are going to make some good cutoffs, relays, and rundown plays. Period.
Right.
And my good scholarly friend here is trying to be so helpful that he's saying,
nice.
That's right.
You're right. You're lined
I don't
up.
want that. I want one word communication. One word. And again, I say, if you make me hear you over on the bench, I know you guys can hear each other out here.
Geez,
You know.
that's a good place to be.
You're looking real good there.
And a catcher never receives the ball behind the plate. You know, if you're going to make a play, you got to be out in front of that plate, and don't give that runner any of the plate to get to.
You can block most of that plate.
What do you mean you can block?
With 1 foot, right on
With
that
the
corner.
shin guard,
Yeah.
not your foot.
No, well, one leg, your shin guard.
Hey, I told you
right
about
on that
Campy. He
corner.
beat the shit out of me coming in, and there wasn't any plate for me to get to. None.
Well, if you put your foot right, I mean your leg right on that corner that's pointing
Yeah.
toward third base,
You
they
got it
can't get
blocked.
around you. They really cannot get around you.
But you better have the ball.
And you better be able to move it just in case you don't have the ball.
Remember, if he's going to score, let him pay for it.
Yeah.
Form of the other clubs are doing.
Uh-huh. Yep. Fundamentals.
We can get that fucking banks to quit the bullshit and hit the ball.
Where are we going?
Very important. Stay relaxed.
All right, we'll do one more.
Good shot. Very good.
I think he lost the one we did yesterday.
Huh?
He lost the one we did yesterday.
No, it didn't come out.
That's right at all.
Hey, you know, you can't make a racehorse out of a plow horse, you know that?
Ah.
What am I doing wrong, Will?
Nothing? These aren't the easiest things to hit off, you know.
That's what I wanted.
Try and hit the top half of that ball. Keep that top hand relaxed. The bottom one can be tight, but the top hand relaxed. There you go.
I'll get back when
Don't have to pull everyone. Just find out where the ball is going to be and then go get it. That's big. Top half. Like it, don't go get it. There's a double in the gap.
That's my kind of hit right there.
So your feet are nice and slow and you're hitting down on it. Hey, pick them up.
Good. Now that we know what is the job of each hand, do 2 with the bottom hand and 2 with the top hand. Come on, 2 bottom hands, action. Good. Good. Okay, 2 top hand action. Yes, sir. Good. Good. Now, give me 3 together. Both hands together. Now you're beginning to start swinging the bat. Okay, go ahead. Now, once you swing the bat and the bat gets to here, your back foot has got to do this. Lift the back foot. Pivot on it. That's better. Okay. That's better. Okay. Now you're beginning to start using the swing. Go ahead.
We'll just do this in 3 groups. What we got, a half an hour, 45 minutes?
You know where that Herbalife building is? Yeah. We're negotiating to take that whole spot.
11:30.
Yeah. Yeah, you found it.
Adams, you gonna throw? Who gonna throw? We need somebody to throw BP.
Come on, Don.
I'll throw it.
Okay.
I'll let you guys don't want to throw any?
I can't.
Okay.
Man,
I'll be glad to
I
throw.
got too many spurs up here.
Hey, this is our field. This is a hell of an advantage. You see this?
We should use all pinch runners.
All pinch runners today. That's a good 10 extra steps.
This is our field today?
Yeah.
I gotta get that damn screen out of there. Somebody's gonna get hurt.
Yeah,
We got all our guys
San
here.
Antonio.
Yeah, you get it yesterday.
Hoyt Wilhelm.
Yeah.
Several guys
still over there.
Want to use this Fungo D?
Okay, what we're gonna do? We're gonna hit in 2 groups. The first group will hit. We got about 35 minutes, 17 and 18. When we hit one group hit 17 minutes, the other group hit 18 minutes. So the first group will be the, we let the first group, since they're starting off the top of the lineup, get that extra swing in, that extra minute. Chief, all right, you leading it off. Jones, House, Stewart, Newman, Cole, and Brown will be in the first group. Thing is, I was watching some of you guys in the cages, and I personally feel that the toughest thing about the cages is that you don't see that arm and the motion of the pitcher. So anytime you work in the cage, it's a plus. Because when you get out here, you'll find it's a lot easier. But the important thing you want to do is try and stay on top of the ball. And that'll be the most important thing you want to do. When you're staying on top of the ball, you're hitting line drives and ground balls. When you're hitting the top half of the ball, that's going to put the ball in the air. And the chances of going over that fence out there are little enough. But you can just hit line drives in the gap, up the middle, all day. Get those base hits. Get a lot of line drives. I noticed a couple of guys in the cages earlier too. This top hand is very tight. And I'll demonstrate what happens when you have a tight hand. Watch. Everything goes. The front shoulder goes, the head goes, elbow gets locked in here, and there's no flexes up. Now, you guys do this here. Turn your head like this. Can anybody walk down the street like that? So you know hitting the baseball is tough. Now, with the top hand loose, big difference. Big difference. And you got that whip action, as opposed to the top. That's tough to do. It's very difficult to hit. I mean, you get the idea, I want to crack that ball out of here. And you get the idea, well, I want, just like you're holding a live bird. That bird can't get away, but yet you don't crush it to death. Or if you got a whip in your hand.
What do you do with your top thumb?
Well, let's pretend like you got the top hand. Take the top hand of the bat. And you got a whip. Now there's a fly on the end of that thing, and you're going to take a whip and you go, just the way you want to whip. Nice and relaxed.
You don't put your thumb behind the bat.
Let that in your finger meet, your index finger. Just let them meet. But just keep it out there. Now, if you want to take a nice, easy swing with one hand to get a good balance, that's what you want to work at in the cage. Keep them hands up. Come down on the ball. And just think about line drive, line drive, line drive, line drive. Okay, man. That's about it, isn't it? You want to be going this way.
Wait a minute, John. Let me put my glasses on. I can't see.
Keep him line. Don't miss a turn.
That's
There you go, Ralph.
Put the glasses on, Willie. Now I can
Just
see.
nice and slow. Just nice and easy. Yeah. Take your time. That's